Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the progress that I've made on my 4-valve swap Mustang. So let's get into today's video. Alright guys, like I said, I'm going to be showing you guys the progress that I've made on this thing. I've really gotten a lot further than I thought I would be. I ran into a few dilemmas definitely with putting brand new motor mounts in. For some reason my older motor mounts were so short, so clapped that they were just like flat sitting on one another. You know, the mounts that come in like two-piece with the rubber in between. When I put in the new mounts, it lifted the motor quite a bit. So when I had the older mounts in, I took my car to the muffler house and I created a muffler for it. Keep in mind, now that there are brand new motor mounts in here, the exhaust didn't line up properly. So I had to cut both sides of the exhaust and rework them so that they would fit onto the manifold again, and also rework that driver side so that my steering shaft could snake right past the header manifold. So I definitely had a few issues putting this thing back together, but let me give you a few visuals of what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is as far as I have gotten. Clutch cable is in, wire harness is in, power steering pump is back on. I have the factory 2-valve Mustang injectors in just for startup. I don't want this thing running rich and washing the cylinder walls. I have brand new O2 sensors in the downpipes. I have to get some exhaust clamps to join the exhaust back together because I don't want to weld it up and spend like $250-300 to take it to a muffler house if the motor's not running right. Now I do assume that I did everything right this time, but you never know. I've been in this motor so many times now that I know it like the back of my hand, and I need to actually run this for about 250-500 miles before I invest another dime into it. I need to make sure that this thing is working the way that it's supposed to work. But I don't know if you guys can see down there. I know it's a bit dark. My steering shaft, the moment I put the motor in, was banging onto the exhaust manifold, and I had to like push the steering shaft up and pull it down. Let me see if I could get you a visual so you can understand what I mean. So there is, let me see if I can zoom in. There is the steering shaft. And if you notice from this piece right here, it can push in and pull out of the like the piece where it goes into the body. And I had to adjust that so that it would turn and go around the exhaust instead of banging or bucking into it. So yeah, that was my first dilemma. And then I had to cut my exhaust pipes. As you guys can see, my exhaust pipes are hanging, but I'm just gonna get some exhaust clamps to put on those instead of welding those up. Might leak a little bit, but it won't be too big of a deal to do some test driving and making sure that this motor is good to go. But even before time, if you look up here, when I had the old motor mounts in, I would have never been able to even reach in here. It was definitely resting on the oil pan. I gotta get some tie straps to do up these wires. But brand new motor mounts, brand new trans mount, and pretty much everything that we needed to give this motor the best chance of running right. I still have no oil filter on it. I didn't fill the coolant yet. No oil in the motor, and no oil in the transmission. That's why I don't have the shifter on. The shifter is still sitting on the floor, and solely because I'm pacing myself when it comes to just dumping money into this. It's going to be about $70 to get some conventional oil and a filter. It's going to be another about $30-35 to get the transmission fluid to get this thing going. And Lord knows I've been on a tight budget trying to buy the parts to put this together, so I need to take it easy. Most likely in the next week or so I'll have the money to put some oil in it and put a filter on it, fill that transmission, and we're gonna do our first start video. Alright guys, so I know these videos of me building the cars and putting them together probably aren't too eventful, but definitely between the 4-valve swap and my 5.0 swap to S14, we're going to be starting to get into finding a nice little deserted Mexico spot for drifting. and also taking these things to a secluded road to time lapse them or to get a quarter-mile time and just see you know, how these builds are progressing over time, because we're not gonna ever stop upgrading them. These cars are not for sale. We are gonna keep them on the channel, and as we grow as a community, the cars will grow definitely as a part of that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited that my 4-valve swap motor is about to be started in the next video. I am a bit nervous, because I always am nervous when it comes to starting this beast of an engine up again, but hopefully we got it right this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and always remember, don't drift without your dreams, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.